ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सरसिजनिलये सरोजहस्ते धवलतमां शुकगन्धमाल्यशोभे भगवति हरिवल्लभे मनोज्ञे त्रिभुवनभूतिकरी प्रसीद मह्यं श्रीमहालक्ष्मीदेव्यै नमः। Today on this very beautiful occasion of Shubha Deepavali, we have offered puja to Gaja Lakshmi and we have lit lamps. A lot of people ask, what is the significance of Deepavali? But more than that, a lot of people have so many questions that why is there so much pain in this world? Why is there so much sorrow in this world? The first question they ask, why did Bhagwan create this world? So many questions are there. And most of our questions originate from the fact that we ask questions from this pluralistic world where we are trapped in, where we are actually going through a lot of issues, and thus our questions are related to the world which is around us. In Vedanta, Vedanta accepts three states in which we live. The first being the Vyavaharika Satta, the plane of existence where each one of us are living and we are transacting with each other. I am very much alive and the other person also is alive, and I'm reciprocating my conversation with them, their presence with them. Mutually we are accepting each other, and we call this Vyavaharika Satta. Then there is a Pratibhasika Satta, which is my own internal reality. Our conversation is going on, but then I judge that person and internally I have formulated some opinion about them and I don't let them know. And even though I'm in front of them, they have no entry into my own personal reality within. And each one of us has a unique reality that we live in. We can go on a highway and see an accident and there is a traffic jam, and someone who's late for work will get very angry and even share some unkind words to the person who's gotten into the accident. And the another person may see the same scenario unfold and they are like, oh, I hope they are okay. I hope they get well soon. And someone even chants Trambakam Yajamahe for them, that may they are well. And they are not worried if they go to work late or miss a meeting or something. But you can see two different people, same scenario, but two different ways in which the internal reality creates a state of existence for them. And the third one that Vedanta accepts is called Paramarthika Satta, the absolute reality. And this absolute reality, it has nothing to do with this. It is in and through our transaction, and it is in and through our own individual life. But even though it is right here, we miss it. We don't get it. And that absolute reality is what Vedanta refers to as Brahman. But our questions are all about here. And in that absolute reality, Vedanta says that alone is Ekameva Advitiya Brahman. He is only one and one alone, and there is Advitiya, there is no second. So if we ask Brahman about our problem, what is Brahman going to say? Which problem? What problem? Whose problem? So Brahman, absolute reality, which great souls strive to abide in, what is known as Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. In that place, there is absolutely nothing but only presence of Brahman. That's it. But our problems are based upon my transaction in this world, based upon my experiences in this world, based upon what I go through day in, day out. These are the three states of existence, and our questions arise from here. So then how do we come to answer? How do we come to assimilate our own doubts? So even there, our Sanatana Dharma has very beautifully given us steps to arrive at proper understanding. So our own great sage Vedvyas Maharshi Ji, he composed 18 Puranas. And there are just stories and stories and stories. Skanda Purana, you may have heard of few stories every Purnima. This Satyanarayana Vrat Katha is there, where Kalavati and Lilavati stories are shared. And anybody who listens to these stories, they question, my goodness, what is this? You know, the girl is born, and then the parents raise her, they make a vow that we will do katha, they don't do katha, and then the marriage happens, and then the husband disappears when the husband and the father-in-law go out. All challenges, and then they do puja and boom, everything disappears, you know. Raja Tungadwaja, you know, he's presiding over a kingdom. He comes on the banks of river Tunga, and over there, some cowherd boys are doing puja, and they come, Raja, please take this prasad. And the king says no. He doesn't take prasad, and he goes through so many upheavals. Then he comes back to the same place, asks those boys, do this puja again, and this time I will take prasad. And king's life is restored. So there is no shortage of stories in Puranas. What is the essence of these Puranas? The essence is faith, Shraddha. Just this morning I was discussing this word, faith, our Swami Chinmayananji's very famous statement. Faith is a bird who chirps when the dawn is about to arrive, but it is still dark. And it chirps because in anticipation of light. It chirps in anticipation of light when the dawn is still dark. That is Shraddha. We don't see it, but we feel it. That very unique feeling starts the journey of a quest for a human being, and that is as simple as Shraddha. So the 18 Puranas inculcates in us faith in something inexplicable, something higher, something greater. And we refer to that something higher, something greater in Puranas as Bhagavan. And what is Bhagavan? Bhaga Asti Bhagavan, the one who has the greatest bhagya. And this is the greatest bhagya. Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. We chanted all different mantras of Gaja Lakshmi, Dhira Lakshmi, Veeri Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi. Different types of wealth. Different types of material gain which allows us to navigate through life easily. This is called prosperity. Then the next layer of scriptures are called Itihas, and there are only two. Voluminous textbook, Mahabharata and Ramayana. Ramayana, story of one person, Lord Rama, and ups and downs that he goes through. But he is married to internal faith. And that faith is much greater, and that faith is called Dharma. And his consort, none other than Mother Sita. And what is Sita? She's a daughter of Janak. And who's Janak? Is Jnani. So she is the daughter of knowledge. The man of wisdom. And she is knowledge personified, wisdom. Internally, Lord Rama is abiding in Dharma. And next to him is faith, which has brought understanding, knowledge. And that is who Mother Sita is. And in the other textbook, Yato Dharma Tato Jaya is a simplified understanding of Mahabharata. Umpteen characters, all in shades of grey. Some are more towards darker, some are more towards lighter. Even Bhagavan Krishna, the Chudamani of Mahabharata. Yet, people criticized him. His own cousin, Shishupal, 100 times he had said that we chant 1,000 names to him. Shishupal, 100 bad names to him. And finally, Bhagavan destroys him. So we have this beautiful textbook of Mahabharata, Dharma. So faith in the Puranas, Shraddha. That bhakti dawns or rides on the crucible of faith. So when faith becomes more solidified, it goes towards devotion. And devotion is what keeps us rooted in Dharma. Otherwise, today we will have Dharmachara behavior, tomorrow we will lose it. But when devotion is there, we will hold on to Dharma. So Shraddha, Bhakti, Dharma. And when that is there, that is when the next layer of scriptures come, and that is end of Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishads. And the subject matter of Upanishad is only one, Atma, Brahman. Atma Vare, Shrotavya, Mantavya, Nidityasitavya. We have to hear about Atma. Then we have to contemplate about Atma. And we have to dwell in the teachings of what we have heard about Atma, and that is called Nididhyasan. Nitaram Dhyatumicha. We remain in the thought of Atma and Atma alone. So Atma has to be heard about, it has to be thought about, and it has to be consciously dwelled in. And that is Brahman, that is Atma. But then our questions are, why am I suffering? And we ask questions and we seek answers. And we live in the place where there is no Atma, which is Maya. Because in Atma there is no Maya, and in Maya, if we dwell in Maya and have not known about Atma, then we are as good as living in darkness. And living in that darkness is called avidya. And in that avidya, if we ask questions and we think about our problems, but we can never ever question or think about problems. That's the problem. We have to have faith. The 18 Puranas only teach faith. And the faith is, let me do what I'm supposed to do. Problems is not in my turf. Problems are in the domain of creation. And that is not my domain. It is the domain of the higher. But we try to solve our problems. Problems cannot be solved. Just 2 days ago, I gave a talk on Dhanatrayodashi. And on Dhanatrayodashi, Mother Lakshmi, the same Lakshmi ji, day before yesterday, she was worshipped. But she was worshipped with her consort, none other than Dhanavantari. Because if we want to live in this world, we better have health. So health becomes the greatest wealth. But we run after gold. Health is considered to be the greatest wealth. So on Dhanatrayodashi, she is worshipped. Oh, Mother, may this equipment be proper in this world. Because that is what is required. The physical equipment has to be proper. The subtle equipment, our mind, intellect, mana, buddhi, chitta and ahankar. The subtle equipment has to be proper, healthy. And what is it utilized for? The physical is utilized for dharma. And the subtle is utilized for vichar of Atma. The subtle equipment has to be used for vichar of Atma, not vichar of this world. Day before yesterday and today, she's worshipped. What is between these 2 days? Yesterday? Naraka Chaturdashi. In our Sanatana Dharma, Naraka means hell. So between the 2 days where divinity is worshipped, there is Naraka. If we don't invite divinity, and if we don't think about Brahman, which integrates our living, then naturally darkness is going to be there. Darkness itself is called Naraka. So between the 2 days she is worshipped. It is the abscess, the bottomless well of darkness. And it is said that Bhagavan Krishna, the one who dwells in there, is known as Narakasura. And Bhagavan Krishna destroyed this Narakasur. And who's Krishna? Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. We do what Lord Rama did, but we do also what Krishna said. We cannot do what Krishna did. Just understand Mahabharata and you will realize nobody can touch Krishna. Arjuna chooses Krishna. Duryodhana chooses the whole army. Statistically, it was not possible for Pandavas to win. But statistics doesn't work in front of Krishna. He had promised he will not pick up a weapon. And there was a broken chariot wheel. He picked it up, turned it into Sudarshan Chakra, masked the sunlight and created an eclipse and told Arjuna, take care of Jayadratha. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Guru is required. To go from Dhanatrayodashi, Krishna destroys this Narakasur. Please don't think he is living in the abscess of this. That abscess is our ignorance. The demon called ignorance, Guru has to remove. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. So by the teachings of our Guru, we remove that. And today what arrives is Deepasya Avali. A row of light. Not just one light. It has to be a row of lights. Avali is called a row. And that Avali means it is a row of lit thoughts on the inside. But they are lit with the awareness of Brahman. These are the 3 days, Dhanatrayodashi, Naraka Chaturdashi, and Deepavali. But we are way too busy eating mathia and chola padi, you know. So it's little bit difficult to process the world when we are so bound in enjoying. We should enjoy, but our enjoyments should lead us to proper understanding. I don't know why Bhagavan created this world. Well, we have to be mature enough to understand why he created, number one. How do we gain that maturity? Clean up the physical body, clean up the internal body. Narakasura is killed, ignorance is removed, and proper line of thoughts arrive. And when proper thoughts arrive, we are able to actually even face our problems. And the prayer is, Lord, please don't take away my problems. Give me the understanding to work with my problems, tackle my problems. Allow me to properly process them. Day before yesterday, I had said, I'm battling cancer. I'm going to fight it. We have to understand there are certain things in this world we have to conquer with understanding, love, acceptance. Physical illness, mental uncomfortable feelings. Not illness, not mental illness, but sadness, anger, desire, greed. With understanding alone, we can rise above them. So these are the 3 beautiful days. The month comes to an end today on Amavasya. It started with the 9 days of the worship of Prakriti, Navaratri, the 9 nights where creation herself is worshipped. Now that the creation is worshipped, how do I learn to live in and through this creation? So that is Dhanatrayodashi. That is the spiritual significance of Naraka Chaturdashi. And today being Deepavali. You may have seen a picture of Gaja Lakshmi. She's seated in a lotus, and it's a massive ocean. And in this ocean, there are half submerged 2 elephants on either side of Mahalakshmi, and they have golden kalashas. And they are taking these golden kalashas and they are pouring. And she's the daughter of the ocean, Samudra Tanaya, Mother Lakshmi. And this beautiful lotus. And Gaja Lakshmi, if you watch, she's seated in Padmasana. Otherwise, she's standing. But Gaja Lakshmi, she's seated in Padmasana. And 2 sides, elephants are doing her Abhishekam. And in Abhaya Varada Mudra, she is seated, half eyes are closed, and she is almost like in Samadhi, like Bhagavan Shivji. Gaja Lakshmi actually is a symbolic representation of awakening of Kundalini. She's Shushumna Nadi. And the 2 elephants are Ida and Pingala. And that whole ocean is the body which is 80% water. So the rising of the Kundalini, all the way awareness which comes to the top, is the Deepavali. The light is lit. And these 2 beautiful nadis through which we have completely gone through. And these are white elephants. Great power, great Shakti. That means Herculean Shakti and power is required for us to walk through Shraddha, Bhakti, Dharma, Jnana to come to that level. The 2 nadis, all 3 of them are seated in Muladhar, and slowly it rises. It requires effort. Faith is required. That faith simple faith turns into great love and devotion. I don't know why I have to do this, but I have to do this. Why? My mom said it, my dad said it, my teacher said it. Faith is there. Such a person goes very far. We don't question the Puranas. If we do, then we'll get into trouble. Because the stories themselves are so difficult to process. Why? Just do it. Bhagavatam starts with the story of Gokarna. If we hear the story of Gokarna, we will really question. The one born with cow, and the ears are of cow. And what he does to liberate his parents. And Bhagavat Sapta has to be done, etc., etc. It just goes on. But it's a Herculean task for us to go from simple faith to faith with devotion. And that faith with devotion then allows us to do what is right. That is dharma. That is Shreyas. Shreyascha preyascha manushya eto. This little boy in Nachiketa in Katho Upanishad, he's a symbol of the one who has walked the path of absolute good. And he rejects the path of easy, path of enjoyment. So, that is dharma. Lord Yama tempts Nachiketas. Do this, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. He's so rooted in dharma, he laughs at whatever things that Lord Yama gives. That is called dharma. Person who's absolutely rooted in dharma. Such a person will reach Brahman. Brahman we have to think about. Worldly problem, we have to pray, navigate through faith, devotion, and righteousness. That is it. So these are the beautiful days of our culture. It is called Sanatana Dharma. We are up to the point in this country where everybody is recognizing and giving holidays and workplaces, schools, this, that. But we should know what is Deepavali. May the blessings of Mother Lakshmi be onto all of us in such a way that a row of thoughts in our mind be lit in faith, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dharma, and eventually this one light of awareness in which everything exists. May this be our blessings. May Mother Lakshmi bless us for that. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shubha Deepavali. Hari Om.